Why Alaska is suddenly becoming the most important U.S. state. September 2024. Alaska, once dismissed as a cold, barren wasteland, is quickly rising in importance due to various global shifts. Recent developments in the region have made it a geopolitical, economic, and military powerhouse. The reasons for Alaska's newfound significance are many, ranging from environmental changes and resource discoveries to its strategic location in the Arctic. This article outlines why Alaska is becoming one of the most important states in the United States, and why the world is suddenly paying more attention to it. The Arctic's growing importance. Alaska's importance has historically been overshadowed by its remote location and harsh climate. However, with the melting of Arctic ice, Alaska is now positioned to become a crucial hub in global trade and politics. As sea levels rise and ice retreats, new shipping lanes are opening up, like the Northern Sea Route, which cuts down travel time and costs between Asia, Europe, and North America. This creates an opportunity for countries to increase their influence in the region, and Alaska, with its strategic location and resources, is becoming central to this development. In recent years, the United States, along with other global powers like Russia and China, has become more focused on exploiting Arctic resources. These resources, oil, gas, and minerals, are becoming more accessible due to the retreating ice, making the region a focal point for economic growth. The increase in shipping traffic, particularly in the Arctic, has been significant. Over the past decade, vessel traffic in the region has grown by over 30%. The U.S. government is responding to this growing activity by investing heavily in Alaska's infrastructure, military presence, and energy production capacity. Strategic location and growing military presence. Alaska's location is one of its greatest assets. The capital city, Anchorage, is the closest major U.S. city to Beijing, Moscow, and Tokyo, making it highly valuable for national defense and global geopolitics. The U.S. Department of Defense recognizes this strategic value and has been investing in expanding the military's presence in the state. One example is the planned construction of a nuclear power plant at Alaskan Air Force Base. Alaska's military importance has been recognized since World War II, when its proximity to Japan made it a key location for U.S. operations in the Pacific. Since then, Alaska's strategic value has only grown, especially during the Cold War when it became a frontline defense against Soviet threats. Alaska's economic potential. Oil and natural resources. While Alaska has always been rich in natural resources, its economic potential is now more evident than ever. The state has vast reserves of oil, natural gas, and minerals, making it a crucial part of the U.S. economy. Since the discovery of oil in Prudhoe Bay in 1968, Alaska has been a significant player in the energy sector. The Prudhoe Bay oil field, once the largest in U.S. history, made Alaska a vital source of domestic oil. Over the years, oil production in the state has contributed billions of dollars to the U.S. economy, while also helping to reduce dependency on foreign oil. Despite a decline in oil production in the lower 48 states, Alaska's oil industry remains a central part of its economy. In recent years, the U.S. has focused on boosting domestic oil production to reduce reliance on foreign sources. The Biden administration's approval of the $8 billion Willow oil drilling project in Alaska's far north highlights the importance of the region in this new era of energy production. While the Willow project may not produce as much oil as fields in Texas, it is part of a larger strategy to tap into Alaska's resources, especially as the Arctic becomes more accessible. Alaska's wealth in oil has allowed it to generate significant state revenues. Nearly 85% of the state's budget comes from oil-related revenues. This has allowed Alaska to forego sales and income taxes, making it unique among U.S. states. Furthermore, Alaska's permanent fund, funded by oil revenues, provides a universal basic income to residents each year. However, as oil production in the state declines, Alaska has become increasingly reliant on the development of new oil fields and other natural resources in the Arctic. The role of the Arctic in global shipping. One of the most significant changes happening in Alaska is the increasing accessibility of Arctic shipping routes. The retreat of sea ice has opened up two major shipping routes: the Northern Sea Route, along Russia's Arctic coastline, and the Northwest Passage, which runs through Canada's Arctic archipelago. These routes dramatically reduce the distance between Asia and Europe, cutting down on travel time and shipping costs. This has led to a surge in global shipping activity, with companies eager to capitalize on the shorter routes. Alaska is strategically positioned to benefit from this trend. The state is situated at the crossroads of the Northern Sea Route and the Northwest Passage, making it a key player in Arctic shipping. Anchorage, in particular, is located roughly halfway between major commercial centers in North America and Asia, making it an ideal hub for international trade. In fact, major logistics companies like FedEx and DHL already use Alaska as a critical stop in their global supply chains. As global shipping increases in the Arctic, Alaska's ports and infrastructure are poised to become even more important. A global power struggle for Arctic resources. The opening of the Arctic has sparked a race among nations to claim and exploit the region's abundant resources. Countries like Russia, Canada, and the United States have all laid claim to large portions of the Arctic's offshore areas, each seeking to control the valuable oil, gas, and mineral deposits located there. As the ice melts and more shipping lanes open, the competition for control of these resources is intensifying. For the U.S., this means that Alaska has become a critical element in its strategy to secure economic and military dominance in the Arctic. The state's proximity to the Arctic and its rich natural resources make it central to U.S. interests in the region. Alaska is not only an economic powerhouse but also a crucial element in the U.S.'s national defense strategy. Its location near major global capitals and trade routes makes it an ideal place for missile defense systems and military installations. The strategic importance of Alaska. In addition to its natural resources and military importance, Alaska's strategic significance lies in its location. It sits on the choke point of the Bering Strait, a key gateway between North America and Asia. The Great Circle Route, a vital air and sea traffic route that connects North America and Asia, passes through Alaska, making it a critical point for both military and commercial activities. During the Cold War, Alaska was recognized as the first line of defense against Soviet threats. Today, its strategic value remains just as high, with potential adversaries in Russia and China increasingly eyeing the region for economic and military dominance. Alaska's role as a power projection platform for the U.S. is now more important than ever. From a military perspective, holding the high ground in the Arctic is essential for national security. With global tensions rising and more nations vying for control of Arctic resources, Alaska's position at the center of it all gives the U.S. a significant advantage in maintaining its influence in the region. Conclusion: Alaska's rising influence. Alaska, once viewed as a remote and inconsequential part of the United States, is now emerging as one of the most strategically important states in the nation. The combination of its location, natural resources, and military significance has placed it at the center of global attention. As climate change continues to open up new shipping routes and make Arctic resources more accessible, Alaska is poised to play a crucial role in shaping the future of global commerce, energy production, and national security. In the coming decades, Alaska's influence will likely continue to grow, both economically and geopolitically. The world is watching closely as the state undergoes significant changes, and the U.S. is positioning Alaska as a critical part of its strategy to maintain dominance in the Arctic and beyond. Whether it's through its energy production, military assets, or strategic location, Alaska is quickly becoming a key player in the global stage, and its importance is only expected to increase in the